Hey y'all, I'm here to read chapters 3, 4, and 5 of the GollyWhopper games with you today. Chapter 3 starts on page 13. Heads up! A large toy airplane circled, landed 3 people away, and shook Gil from his memories. He turned to take advantage of the gusting wind, then took a closer look at the yellow card that Shrimpy Guy had given him. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the biggest, bravest, boldest competition of action and intellect the world has ever seen, the GollyWhopper Games, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Golly Toy and Game Company. Your number in line is 5,915. Do not lose this line card. It's your chance for a ticket to win fame and fortune. The number on this card indicates your place in line. You must hold on to your card or risk forfeiting the right to receive a ticket that might lead to winning a full college scholarship, a copy of every toy and game Golly has ever sold and ever will sell, plus other stupendous prizes and experiences too fabulous and too numerous to name. Stick around. The ride of your life is about to begin. The back side of the card said that even with this card, contestants must keep their places in line until tomorrow morning, when Golly officials would give further directions. That it was unlawful to sell or copy the card, the company was not liable for lost or stolen cards, and the card came with no guarantees and blah, blah, blah. All that small print to protect the company's backsides. Golly lawyers were good at that. Gil sat against a tree, slipped the yellow line card halfway under his butt. He needed both hands to dig deep into his duffel for a bottle of water he'd packed yesterday. He took a long swig, wiped his mouth with the back of his hand, then wiped his hand on the duffel, right next to its stenciled letters, Gilbert. Gilbert stunk as a first name, didn't have a cool nickname. Bert was the nerd on Sesame Street, or the great uncle with hair sprouting out of his nose and ears. And Gil, it wasn't spelled the same, but according to their disintegrating American Heritage Dictionary, it sounded the same as the respiratory organ of most aquatic animals that breathe underwater to obtain oxygen. Stenciled like this, though, Gilbert was the last name of his great-grandfather, the military hero. Gil took another gulp of water and tried to make himself believe that 1,415 kids with guaranteed tickets wouldn't show up. What about the kids from Hawaii or Alaska, or even California or Connecticut? They couldn't all have parents willing to travel so far to play a game, no matter how exciting that game promised to be. Maybe he still had a good chance. Maybe, duck! A ball from the volleyball game came like a shot towards Gil's head. He jerked and rolled over just in time, and just in time for one of those breezes to catch his yellow card and send it tumbling. He scrambled to his feet. Forget his water, forget his stuff. His card, his chance to get into the games, was cartwheeling backward, back toward the people who had worse numbers than he did. Gil couldn't go to the end of the line. He just couldn't. Run! Get the card! Whoa! Gil jumped over a little kid, around another, hit the pavement, and spiraled into a lawn chair. Before he could take stock of his injuries, a small group gathered around, sitting him up, brushing him off. "Are you all right, kid?" someone asked. A woman rushed up to him with a first aid kit. He tried to shake her off, tried to get back up. "My card," he said. "My card blew away." He scrambled up to his feet and, "Looking for this?" The voice belonged to the hand that held Gil's card. "Yeah, thank you. Thank you very, very..." Oh no, not Lonnie, not one of the twins. Gil hoped they'd both flunked and had to stay behind in 6th grade. Didn't matter right now. Lonnie stood there, a Golly badge on his chest and a grin on his face. If he and his brother were still identical, they'd turned into twin giraffes over the summer. "How much is this card worth to you?" he said. "Come on, Lonnie, be decent for a change." "Because your dad was decent at Golly? My dad still curses your dad every day because he can't remember all those passwords he needs to get into his computer stuff. They won't even let us kids preview computer games unless we go through 40,000 security checks. So for all of my trouble, I think this should be worth something, if you want it badly enough." The woman with the first aid kit stepped toward them. Her eyes came up only to Lonnie's chin, but she somehow appeared taller. "Whose ticket is that?" she said. Why do you? The woman got right into Lonnie's face. I said, Okay, Lonnie handed Gil the ticket and walked away. Now sit yourself down, she said to Gil. Nurse Francine doesn't want any back talks from you either. Gil wasn't about to argue with her. He sat. My mom's a nurse too. She's probably not a school nurse, though. Gil laughed and let her tend to his knee through the rip in his jeans. Thank you, Gil said, for everything. Francine helped him up. Now you hold on to that ticket, you hear? Gil nodded, tried out his knee. It only stung a little bit. He raced back to his stuff, hoping it was still there, hoping he still had a place in line.